Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's the first game of the season finally. Round 1 is upon us. Team lists have come out on Tuesday for the split round. 2 games in Vegas. Just the 4 teams to look at, but let's go through them because there's a fair bit of action Supercoach wise. Firstly, Raiders Warriors. So on the Raiders front, not a whole lot of interest for me, to be honest. I don't want to pick any of the backline in my team. The one that I am going to pick, like most people, is Corey Horsburgh. Had a, I don't know, I think he's had some issues with Ricky Stewart over last year. He wasn't in the team very much. And he's a very juicy starting price for someone who is starting at prop. I think he's around the 300k mark, so he's straight into my team. And that's about all, really. Nothing else in the Raiders team interests me. The Warriors, on the other hand, there's a few people that are getting the attention of not just me, but other people as well. So firstly, this guy, Ali Leotau. I don't think I'm going to go with him, but he's quite popular. I'm going to go for a teammate of his who is roughly at the same price, which is RTS. So RTS on a wing, he'll be bringing the footy back a lot, so a lot of tackle busting runs, and I reckon he'll score more than the occasional try on the wing as well. So I think he's quite good value at about 550, something like that, mid 500. So I'm going to put him into my team. I'm going to pass on Ali. And then Luke Metcalf is the other one, quite popular. He'll be running the show at the Warriors for the whole season, and he's also at quite a juicy price as well. In terms of the forwards, so there's a couple of left field ones that I think I'm going to go with in my team. The first one is Wade Egan. I think he's a pretty solid hooker. He had a so-so season last year, but 2023 was quite good, and I am hoping that he's going to recapture that form. And yeah, it's really more on hope rather than any real research, but I've decided to pick him in my team at hooker as someone who's affordable and pretty solid. Now the other one, and there is some logic to this one, is Aaron Clark. So I reckon there's a lot of people who are Supercoach fanatics who've barely even heard of this bloke. He's played bench roles at the Titans last year. He was on the bench for most of that season, got very limited minutes. And as such, he's at a very low price. But if you look at his points per minute, they're huge. He's averaging more than 1 point per minute. And if he's a starting lock for the Warriors, which he is, then he's going to get, I don't know, at least 50 or 60 points a game for someone who's at a remarkably cheap price. So I'm bringing him into my team, and yeah, there's logic to that one. Wade Egan, that's more of a hunch than anything. And that's about it for that game. Let's move on to the second game. So we've got the Panthers and the Sharks. So in terms of the Panthers team, people were hoping for the other McLean, Jesse McLean, but he hasn't been named. Casey is in there. So in the Panthers backline, not much to speak of in my opinion. Nathan Cleary is obviously the standout, so I am going to go with him in my team. He had an injury disrupted season last year, so I think he's below, his starting price is below what he is truly worth. The same can be said for the other side of the ledger here, and Nicho Hynes also had some injury troubles last year and is possibly also at a discount. Now, I don't think you can run with both of those. I know a lot of people are doing that. For me, I'm just going to have to choose one, and in my opinion, Nathan Cleary is the better buy than Nicho Hynes. So I'm going to go with Cleary and leave Nicho for perhaps later in the year. I might pick him up later on. In terms of the forwards, not a whole lot to speak of in my opinion for the Panthers. The big notable exception really is IPAP. He did not make the starting 13, and so I was toying with the idea of bringing him into my team, but that decision has been made for me now if he's starting on the bench. And then over at the Sharks, not much interests me, to be honest. Adam Fanua-Blake's quite popular. I am going to just wait and see for now. He scored a lot of tries last year, and I can't believe he can score the same number of tries this year. So I actually think he's a bit inflated in terms of his price. So how my team is looking? Well, like I said in the previous video, a lot of these names are still placeholders. It has improved since the last video, because I've brought in some definite Warriors here. Corey Horsburgh from the Raiders. So those are definite starters. Metcalf and RTS. and it's starting to take shape. I think we'll obviously do another video next week for when we've got some more matches, but I'm relatively happy with the forwards I've got, and and the halfbacks and the 5/8 as well. The centres and the wingers, I think there's going to be a lot of movement here once we have a clearer idea of who's playing and who the cheapies are. But that's broadly my team at the moment, starting to take shape, and we'll check in again next week when we've got some more matches to speak about. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.